Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. I had this on a little bit, so I'm not blinding. Blinding white beard. Um, where was I? I don't even know. Oh, yeah. So, dreams and clairvoyant dreams. So, it's one thing to have a friend who says that they've had a clairvoyant dream. Clairvoyant means precognitive, seeing the future. It's another thing to have a guy like David B. Hart, who has PhDs, a philosophical theologian, very sharp thinker, understands the potential for self-deception, but who is convinced that he has had experiences, and other people that he knows have had experiences of the future. So, for myself, I've had a number of really bizarre experiences. I had one dream where I dreamt who would hit the game-winning home run of the 1993 World Series between the Blue Jays and the Philadelphia Phillies. The night before, I had a dream that there were two baseball teams playing in outer space. It was silly and weird, but I woke up nauseous because it was that intense, and I saw a player in a blue outfit, like a little Lego player, come up to the plate and hit the ball, and then it flashed in my head. Carter hits the home run. And then next night, I'm laying there on the ground in my parents' living room, and um, Carter, this guy named Joe Carter, comes up to bat. It's tied, bottom of the ninth inning, hits the home run to win the World Series. So things like that they're weird. They're very weird if they're occurring. Now, some of you might not think that they're actually occurring, but for those who experience them, they certainly seem very real. I actually shared that story once with a group of people when I was in college, and I had a cowboy come up to me, and his girlfriend was behind him, and he was clearly speaking on her behalf and said, "Listen, my girlfriend has started to have dreams over the last year of people in her life who are dying, and we don't know what's going on. Do you have any explanation?" And of course, I'm, I'm not psychic or anything. I'm no expert on this stuff. But she was emotional, and you could tell that he was nervous, and that maybe it took some convincing from her to get him to believe that these things are really occurring for her. I had another guy at Montana State University come to me. He was relatively young. I was older, and he said, "Matt, I keep having these really weird premonitions, and then they occur. So I'll be sitting in my room, and I'll just go, phone's gonna ring." And then 5 seconds later, the phone rings. Or I'll be in the cafeteria, and I'll look up at a girl, and I'll go, "She's gonna trip." And then boom, she trips and falls. And he was in tears. He was that bugged out by what he was experiencing that he was choked up. So the question is, well, there are questions we can answer and questions we can't answer. Are these dreams real? Are these premonitions real? Are they occurring? Is something that is going to be left up to the individual. If they're occurring, though, there's a problem. And the problem is for your free will. Since we've been dealing with free will, we've had two theories so far that have said that you're not free. One was scientific determinism, that everything you do is causally determined by a chain link of events, brain activity. The other one was behavioral economics, which is that most of our behavior is controlled by external stimuli that we're unaware of. And the third and fourth theories both grow out of these dreams and an understanding of these dreams. And I'm going to give a presentation of both of them, one for religious people, one for atheists. So we'll start with people who are religious and who believe in God. Here's the issue. If God exists, then he can see the future. And if the future is already out there, if these dreams are real and they're telling the future, that means the future exists. And if the future exists, that means that you're not free. So the first problem is called the problem of divine foreknowledge. Divine God before knowledge. He has knowledge of what we're going to do before we do it. So, for example, if I take this book and I say that in 3 seconds I'm going to throw it at my computer, and I go 1, 2, 3, and I fake God out. I say, "See, you thought I was going to throw it, didn't you?" I didn't fake God out. God knew that I was going to pretend to throw it and not actually throw it at the screen. He knows everything. If that's the case, that means that your life is, in fact, like a book. So you're on page, let's say, 18. I don't know what page I'm on here. Let's say you're on page 18. I get to see, at least see the words. But there are words here. There we go. Yeah. So turn ahead 2 pages, page 20. Everything in your life 2, 3 years from now is already written. It's already done. It's already set out. So this brings up a bunch of issues, not just for free will, but actually it brings up issues for God, because then we have this question of, if God tells us to choose good versus evil, and it looks like he knew the whole book of my life beforehand, I never actually had any choices. So let's say on page 40, when I'm 40 years old, I'm going to have a big decision, an existential dilemma, where I can choose between good and evil. But on the next page, it shows that I chose evil. Then did I actually have a chance to choose good? It looks like no. And what that means is, an even more bizarre level, is that before God created the world, he knew every book that would ever be written, including people who would perhaps be damned and go to hell, if that is a part of the picture of God who exists. He knew their books, and he made people knowing that they would do evil and knowing that they would suffer judgment, and they would have no choice in the matter. That's the key. There's no choice in the matter. If God exists, your life is already written, and you're not free. How does that make you feel?